Is this a bad idea? Y'all would tell me if this was a bad idea, right? Why, hello everyone, welcome to PlayFrame. If you're new here, my name is Dan Floyd, I'm a professional game animator, and I don't know if this is going to work, but I would like to try doing an accelerated, story-focused playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. Because the ongoing story in this MMO is really good, and I want more people to be able to experience it. But I do realize that committing to an MMO is kind of a tough sell for a lot of folks, understandably. So my goal here is to try to provide a more streamlined version of that story experience. We'll see how it goes. So before we start, just a few quick things. One, like I said, this is going to be a highly accelerated playthrough. I'm going to be focusing almost exclusively on the main story questline, and I'm going to be editing out all of the tedious, grindy bits. I do want to leave in just enough gameplay and context so you can get a taste of the larger Final Fantasy XIV experience, but we're still going to try to keep the pace of this nice and breezy. Two, I'm going to try to remember to add timestamps to all of these videos, so if you ever want to skip ahead a bit or find something specific, just mouse over the video timeline or check the description down below. Three, please let's all avoid posting spoilers down in the comments section, because chances are that a lot of the people watching this are going to be seeing this story for the first time, and I do not want to take that first time experience away from anybody, so let's all try to be courteous to each other down there, okay? Four, if you haven't already checked out the Final Fantasy XIV primer video I posted yesterday, I highly recommend watching that first, because this MMO has got a bonkers development history, let's say, and the information in that video is probably gonna help a lot of the things in the game make more sense. I will link to that primer in the description and up in the corner right now. But I think that's everything, so since we're all here for story, I think it only feels right to kick things off with the cinematic trailer for A Realm Reborn, because the story events depicted in this cinematic are actually very important. And fair warning, the things you're going to see in this cinematic are going to make a lot more sense if you've watched that primer video. Anyway, enjoy! I love that cinematic. By the way, when you hear characters in the game refer to an event called the Calamity, the events in that trailer are what they are referring to. That event is going to have long-lasting effects. Anyway, this intro has taken forever. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. I'm so excited. All right, first things first, we are going to need to create ourselves a character. This one won't do. I mean, this is Juriel. This is the character I usually play, and she's great, but no. New adventure, new hero, I say. Here we go. New character. Not yet. Not yet. First, by the way, again, timestamps down below if you want to skip the whole character creation thing. I will understand. But real quick, just so you can be familiarized with the playable character races in this game who we're going to be encountering, there are 8 at time of this recording. And some of them will probably look pretty familiar depending on which Final Fantasies you've played before. We've got the Hyur, the basic humans. We've got the Elizin. We have the Lalafell, the Mikote, the Rugadin, the Aura, the Hrothgar for you Final Fantasy X fans, and the Viera for you Final Fantasy XII fans. And Final Fantasy XI players, all 18 of you will probably remember some equivalent of these 5. I think for our character for this adventure, I've been playing a lot of Hyur lately, so I think that it is time we go short. We are going to be a Lalafell, and just to speed this character creation process up, I'm going to take advantage of a very handy feature they have in this game where you can load appearance data. You can create, when you are creating a character, you can save that created character data in slots, which is very nice. So let's go ahead and load up our boy. Here is our hero who's going to save the world. He is adorable and I love him. So, if you're creating your own character, here's all the stuff that you can tweak. There's a lot of it. You can spend a long time in this character creation menu, and many do. But this boy is ours, and he's ready to take on the world. So, with that established, nope. We need to give our little fellow a birthday. I don't know why. Probably just for flavor, but since I started planning this series on, I want to say October 12th? Let's do that. October 12th. Happy birthday, little. He likes it, see? Okay, now we have to select our character's patron deity from one of the 12 gods of this world. This doesn't matter. It is strictly flavor. Maybe they'll make it matter someday, but for now, we're just gonna go with, here, Azema. Keeper of the Sun and Goddess of Inquiry. What do you think, buddy? He likes it. All right, moving on. Now we have to choose our starting character class and also simultaneously our starting location. Because depending on which job you pick here, yeah, you'll see down there in the bottom left corner, depending on which job you pick, that decides which town you're going to start in, which is kind of neat. Now, Final Fantasy fans may be wondering why there's not a single recognizable character class anywhere, like where's your white mages and your red mages and your paladins and whatnot? This is a bit of a remnant of Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. All of these jobs here will eventually turn into those classes you know and love. Like the gladiator will become the paladin, the pugilist will become a monk, the marauder will become a warrior, and so on. So, anyway, we're going to be a gladiator, I think, to start with this little fellow, because I want to start off in Ul'dah. Partly just because I like the place, but also because I think that this town has like 5% more relevance to the larger story, at least the story I've seen. They're all great starting towns. I love them all, but we are going to start off in Ul'dah. And again, he's a fan, and if he's a fan, I'm a fan. So, confirm. No. Wrong. So, the server we're going to be playing on someday. I've been playing this game along with a bunch of fans of the channel, actually, and we are located on the Crystal Data Center on the Curl world. And so I want to create our character on that server, but well, Final Fantasy XIV's been experiencing a bit of a popularity spike recently, which is awesome, good for the game. It does occasionally mean that they temporarily limit which servers you can create new characters on. It shouldn't take too long for the server to open back up. I'll just wait this out and I'll be right back with you. See you in a bit. Okay, there we go. That didn't take too long. Good. All right, so We have to name our character, both first and last name. Our character is Durman Durrami. And again, he's excited about it. His face is kind of covered up, but, well, he was smiling. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing started, huh? Oh, he's so happy. Oh, this is going to be fun. Begin a new game with this character. Go! Enjoy the scenes.
Here. Here. Feel.
Look at him, he's so cute. Hey. Hey, you. I cannot get over how cute this Lalafell is. You all right, lad? You were moaning something fierce for a while there. Feeling the effects of the ether, I reckon. You'll get used to it, though. Don't worry. You there! Halt! Now what's all this about? Inspection. Men, search the carriage. I'm just an honest peddler, friend, so don't be too disappointed if you don't find nothing, huh? Mind your tongue, old man, lest I cut it out. Sir, look! Somnus. Honest peddler, was it? Since when do honest peddlers deal in prohibited herbs? You're in a lot of trouble, old man. You'll rot in a dungeon till the end of your days, unless you can afford the fine. Business as usual. Ah! I'm all jaw! I'm all jaw! To arms! To arms! Seven hells. Consider this a warning. Now go! All of you! Whew. That kind of excitement ain't good for the heart. You be careful around them brass blades, lad. Bastards will have the shirt off your back if they fancy it. Like common bandits they are, only less honest. Thank the gods for sending some beastmen to the rescue, huh? Hey, seeing as we still got a long ride ahead, you mind keeping me company till we arrive? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Oh, they're snoozing. Brent's the name, and peddlin's me trade. And judging by your unusual garments, I'll wager you're one of them new adventurers. I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory, that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Well, like, I'm mostly here for the story, but that's not an option. I don't know, let's say Dermond's the ambitious type. To win glory. Glory, huh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks as other folks ain't, an adventurer such as yourself can win fame that coin can't buy. Now, when you arrive in town, you'll want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about the adventuring business in there. And just remember, though, there are more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Now, by the by, is this your first trip to Ul'dah? Well, for me, no, but I'm guessing for a lot of you, yes, so. It is. Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Ul'dah is ruled by the Sultana in name, but as most folk know, the Syndicate holds all the real power. Them and their monetarist cronies would happily get rid of her grace altogether, but that won't happen while she still commands the loyalty of the Royalists, and the Royalists are nothing if not loyal. These factions have long fought over power, throwing the weight of their wealth against each other, and they show no signs of stopping. Of course, the Lizard Men, that's the Ul'dah, couldn't care less about Ul'dah politics. They have their own interests, see, and they ain't afraid to use force to serve them. They say war is a gift to peddlers, need breeding profit, and though it shames me to say it, I'm inclined to agree. Ah, at long last. Behold Ul'dah, jewel of Thanalin, where folk turn sand into gold.
Deep in the sun-baked south, surrounded by the shifting sands of an endless desert, she rises, a solitary rose amidst the dust and rock, a symbol of defiance, her name, Ul'dah. Even with the coming of the seventh umbral era, hope springs eternal for the mongers and merchants who vie for lost fortunes in this bustling oasis. As the twin faces of Nold Thal maintain their vigil over all that has been and shall be, the present proffers a brave soul. One whose arrival could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity for the realm.
At the very least, we will be a new and cute face. And here's where we part ways, lad. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for putting up with me prattle. Really can't get over how cute this character is. I'll try to stop saying it, but no promises. You never did tell me your name, though. Hey, but here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square. You have yourself a deal, sir.
May the traders nurture our fortunes as they kindle the flames which burn within us all. For by fire are we reborn.
Well, time to show this town who's boss. And welcome to Ul'dah, everyone! Our new home. We're gonna be here for a little while. Learning the ropes. Sorting out some local problems. Finding our feet. And meeting a bunch of characters we're gonna be interacting with for a long time. Oi! Adventurer, over here! Hello. Hi, I mean you. Fresh off the carriage by any chance? Huh? How can I tell? Name's Wymond, and my business is knowing every bugger else's. Now then, what if I was to offer you some invaluable advice by way of welcome to our fair city? Free of charge even, just this once, like. I like your sunglasses. Everyone's so nice here. Welcome to Ul'dah, the shining beacon of prosperity rising from the deserts of Thanalan. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. Ah, yes. Well, this one. I know a lot of people actually do play this on gamepad, and apparently it works very well. I tried, couldn't get used to it. Follow the instructions to move your character. Okay, I'll try to make all these tooltips go away so we're not pestered by these every 10 seconds. Oh my gosh. Okay, hey, let me mess around with some settings real quick. Okay, and we're back. That will have to do for now. I'll do a more thorough UI minimizing pass in a little bit here. Well, let's talk to Wymond. Wymond, sorry for keeping you waiting. Let's see. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Ul'dah, you must register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. 'Tis plain to anyone with eyes that you don't know your way around here. If I let you go wandering off down the nearest dark alley, you're certain to get mugged, or worse, and I don't want that on my conscience. So before you do anything else, you'll want to head over to the quicksand and speak with Momodi. She's the master of the Adventurers Guild, and can set you on the right path. Now that is a nice-looking place. And just take those steps over yonder and pass through the double doors. You'll find her inside. And that's as much as you're getting for free. Good luck with the adventure, adventurer. Oh, we've gotten our first quest. Use the duty list to help you complete your task. Right, that thing over there. Again, we'll do a UI cleaning pass in a bit. First, we're gonna go talk to a person. Boy, I gotta set up like a lot of hotkeys, and there's much to do. There you are. Momodi! Ah! You are also short, and it makes me feel at home. Yes, that's the gesture I use when I'm pretending to know how to read as well. Hello. Why, hello there. Who might you be? If you're looking to join the Adventurers Guild, you've come to the right place. Name's Momodi, and I own this fine establishment, if it please you. I also manage the Adventurers Guild here in Ul'dah, so you might say that looking after green adventurers like yourself is my vocation. And lucky for you, that is. Without someone like me to steer you right, you'd soon find yourself out in the middle of nowhere, caught up in business you don't understand. That's true. Like our conflict with the Ul'dah, for example. They've been plaguing the Sultanate for nigh on forever now. Then there's the Garlean Empire. None can say for sure what they're plotting these days, only that they are. Aye, the people drink and make merry, but underneath it all, there's worry. Worry and a lingering feeling of loss. And little wonder, it's scarce been 5 years since the Lesser Moon cracked open like a giant egg, releasing an abomination intent on turning the realm into an 8th hell. So much was lost in the blink of an eye. It was like the end of the world had come at last. This is some really great exposition work you're doing. But then things begin to get foggy. Everyone's got their own version of what happened next, some of them 2 or 3. You'd think people would remember something like that, but the fact is, they don't. Nobody does. There is one thing that survivors agree on, though. The part played by a band of adventurers who laid down their lives for a realm that wasn't their own. They fought valiantly, and like so many others, they never returned. deeds worth remembering, I'm sure you'll agree. It's just a shame our recollections of those brave heroes are as jumbled as those of the Calamity itself. Whenever we try to call their faces to mind, it's like they're standing between us and the midday sun, just permanently silhouetted. I'll bet that sounds poetic to you, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's bloody infuriating. But even if we can't remember them, we'll not let them be forgotten, and so we call them the Warriors of Light. It's really sweet how the creators of this game treasure the players who stuck with them through the disastrous 1.0 version of this game. like when characters say stuff like this, it's just really a little love letter, a little thank you from the devs. And I wasn't playing in 1.0, but I still think it's very cool. And they'll forever stand as a shining example of what adventurers can achieve. That's why I welcome new arrivals like yourself to our fair city. All I ask is that you lend a helping hand and try to leave Ul'dah in a better state than you found her. If you can promise that, I'd be happy to let you join the guild. I'm so solemn. All right then, a promise is a promise now. I'm counting on your help to put the past behind us. We need people working and spending and bickering like the old days. And a happy and prosperous Ul'dah means more business for the quicksand, too. Any road, let's make this official. Go ahead and write your name in the register, neat as you can. Derman Durami. Well, ain't that a charming name? Just rolls off the tongue, it does. All right, Mr. Durami, on behalf of the Adventurers Guild, I officially... Please, sir, be merciful. 12 is my witness, I swear to you, I'll bring you your money. In the East, it's said that even a merciful god might be driven to vengeance if thrice blasphemed. Be grateful you were given a fourth chance to offend. You two attend to this scum. No, please, mercy! How are y'all enjoying this one-man voice acting show? I hope you are. There's a lot of it you're gonna have to sit through. Well, ain't that a sorry sight? Nor an uncommon one, if I'm honest. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, I doubt you'll end up like him. Just the same, if you ever need a bit of advice about one thing or another, pay me a visit. Just don't go bothering me every time you stub your bloody toe, all right? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the women folk from time to time. Any road, welcome to Ul'dah, Derman. And take a moment to catch your breath, and I'll teach you a little about our fair city. That sounds lovely. Oh, we've completed our first quest. Look at us go. This concludes the introductory game tutorial. You've taken the first step as an adventurer in the city of Ul'dah. Listen well to the wisdom of Mamodi Modi, then go forth and discover the incredible adventures that await you. Whoa. Almost a level 2, jeez. I'm used to playing a character like in the mid-70s, or early 70s, so this sort of fast experience is a feeling I'd forgotten. By the way, so this early game experience is going to be pretty slow going as they sort of slowly ease us into this MMO and its many, many systems. I mean, the game's been around for, I guess, 11 years if you count 1.0, if you count 1.0. But yeah, so like things are going to go a little bit slow to start, but I'll try to move us through it quick as we can. So, Mamodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand, wants you to perform 3 tasks that'll help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Teach me the ways. Before you go charging off to find your fortune, I have a few basic tasks I'd like you to perform so as to help you get to know the place. First of all, I want you to visit the Aetherite Plaza. To get there, head west from here till you reach Emerald Avenue, then look to the north. You should see a giant floating crystal called an Aetherite. If it weren't for Aetherites, traveling around Eorzea would be a damn sight more troublesome than it is. Of course, you'd still need to attune with them before you can use them, so be sure to do that with the one in the plaza. Have you ever attuned with an Aetherite before, Derman? If not, just lay your hand on the thing and you'll see what I mean. When you're done with that, I want you to pay a visit to the Gladiators Guild over at the Colosseum. Assuming that sword ain't just for show, you might consider training there. And finally, I want you to visit the Sapphire Avenue Exchange over on the Steps of Thal. Goods from all across Eorzea and beyond turn up there every day, You'll have no trouble finding armor or weapons or anything else a fledgling adventurer like yourself might need. You might say that everything's for sale here in Ul'dah, as long as you got the gil. Just make sure you don't pay more than you ought, Derman. There's plenty as won't scruple to swindle unsuspecting foreigners like yourself, especially if they think no one's looking out for their best interests. Which is why I'm giving you this letter. When you visit the exchange, find a gentleman named Cesaroga and give it to him. He'll be happy to tell you about the markets once he's read it. In short then, visit the Aetheryte Plaza, the Gladiators Guild, and the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Simple. Oh, but before you go, a word of advice. While there are more than a few unsavory characters out there who will try to take advantage of you, there are also some with honest-to-goodness problems who you should consider offering a helping hand to. A lot of folk are lured to this city by the promise of wealth and power, and what many of them fail to realize is that instead of chasing after gil the moment they get here, they ought to be making friends. Let it be known that you're willing to give as much as you get, and opportunities will come your way. Speaking of which, you should speak with the smith over yonder. Those lads always have some good advice for up-and-coming adventurers. Otherwise, that's about it from me. It's past time you got going. Oh, and let me know when you finished, will you? That way I won't spend my days worrying that you're down to your small clothes without a gil to your name. Hello. We have a task. Fantastic. Okay, I'm sick of looking at this UI, and I'm going to fix it. Be right back, everyone. Okay, see, that feels a whole lot better to me. Isn't that nice? A little cleaner, a little less intrusive. Derman, what do you think? See, this guy gets it. All right, we've been given some tasks, so we need to go out on the town. It's night now. Okay, that took a while cleaning up the interface. Worth it. Anyway, we've been given tasks. We have to go find the Aetheryte, find the Gladiators Guild, find the person in the markets who can tell us how capitalism works. And then we're going to be ready to be an adventurer. It's really all you need to know. The Aetheryte, I believe, is right over here. By the way, any characters you see as I'm wandering around, probably all players for the most part. If you see a little green name over them, probably an NPC. You can turn on player names and stuff like that. I figured, just in the interests of a nice, clean interface. And what is going on here? Oh, yes, of course. So, more important than any of the other things that we're going to be taught about this MMO and how to play it today is this. This is a regular feature on this server. And it all starts with this dude right here. That's not him. This dude... Where's the guy? Wait, is he not here? Weird. Anyway, so there's a guy named Nosaj Blackrock, or just Jason backwards Blackrock, who is usually looking almost exactly like this, doing this 24/7. All the time. That's how this player has decided to spend their subscription to this video game. I'm guessing the fact that that player is not on right now, that's probably why there are so many other people here in perfect sync honoring that person in their absence. The person's been on this server for as long as I've been playing, and shows no signs of stopping. So, Blackrock, you will be missed until you're back, and you always come back, so... Anyway, that's just a fun thing on this server. I expect that sort of thing happens on a lot of servers, and there's probably a lot of different versions of it, but, the community in this game is fun. This isn't Aetheryte. This is what we're... Hello. This is what we're actually here for. Let's touch the thing, like we were told. Because that's just a chicken over there. People are having some fashion fun today. Hail, adventurer. Might you have come at the behest of Miss Momody of the Quicksand? Excellent, which brings us to the matter of the attunement fee. That will be 100,000 gil, if you please, sir. Apologies, but I do so relish the opportunity to make that jest. Oh, the look on your face was absolutely priceless. But the fact that you were so easily deceived does suggest to me that you are unfamiliar with the use of Aetherites. Allow me to explain. These crystalline can't talk tonight. Bad sign. These crystalline agglomerations tap into ethereal energies and are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Perchance you've heard of return and teleport? Well, these transportation spells make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. Given that there's an aetheryte in almost every corner of Eorzea, an adventurer with a mind to explore the realm will wish to seek out and attune himself to each and every one. But even if you have no intention of wandering beyond the Sultanate's borders, it would be prudent for you to attune yourself to any aetherytes you encounter from now on. I pray that you found that informative. Should you wish to learn more about aetherytes or transportation magic, I should be happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Boy, that's going to help us a lot. This is how we're going to warp and teleport around the world, which is sure going to make this playthrough a lot more efficient to record once I've attuned myself to all these things. That'll be a project for me to do off camera. Anyway, let's start heading toward the Gladiators Guild, past the very good dance vigil. By the way, just side note, if you hear any character in this game, and you will, mention the term ether, that is basically the equivalent. You know the life stream from Final Fantasy VII? It's basically that, like 80% that. It's basically the source of magic in this world. Just giving you that heads up now because people are going to be saying that word a lot, and I thought you might want to know. Anyway, Gladiators Guild. So you may recall when we were creating Little Derman here, we chose our job from a list. And our choice of job, got us settled in this town. And that is because all of the starting classes in the game each have a guild. And those guilds are scattered across the 3 starting towns. And one of the nice things about Final Fantasy XIV, something that I really like about this particular MMO, is that you can play any class on the character you create. You can switch between them once you've unlocked the classes. And that's really nice. I like not having to create a new character every time I want to try out just a different combat role or something. It's basically the Final Fantasy job system, and it's quite nice. Let's see here. Hello. Welcome to the Gladiators Guild, friend. Tell me, are you new to the thrills of mortal combat? Well, whether you are or not, you're new to us. If you would take your place in these hallowed halls, you must be willing and ready to undergo the most rigorous training. You must endure cuts and bruises beyond counting, and like as not, far worse. A daunting prospect, I concede, but there's no other way if you wish to take to the Blood Sands one day. And why wouldn't you? The Colosseum's only the most celebrated place of public entertainment in all of Ul'dah. Where else could a poor man amass a fortune so vast as to one day allow him to claim a seat on the Syndicate? There's not an Ul'dah alive who isn't inspired by the rise of the self-made man. And there's no truer embodiment of this than the gladiator who wins riches and fame with his sword. Throughout its long and storied history, this guild has nurtured countless champions. Our training methods are second to none, and our members ever strive to develop new techniques. If you desire true glory, to fight and triumph amidst the roar of 10,000 voices, then this is where you belong, adventurer. Think of it. Think of your legacy. And if your soul stirs, join us. You make a very good sales pitch. I'll join. What'll it be? Will you rise above the masses and inscribe your name in legend? Or will you resign yourself to mediocrity and die in obscurity? Well, when you put it that way. A decision you shan't regret. One moment, make way for Dirman Dirami. Fresh meat coming through. Now then, before your enrollment can be considered complete, you must present yourself to First Sword Mila. Seek her out and obtain her approval. You've got it. I have sought her out. There she is. So, all of the different jobs in this game, and there are many, all have their own different quest lines with their own stories, and some of them are pretty cool. But in the interest of actually finishing this game or getting through any amount of story ever, we're just going to skip over all that. If y'all want to see that someday, if the series goes on long enough, sure, we can do some of them. For now, we're just going to skip it all. So I'm going to talk to the boss lady here, get some chores to do, and then I'm going to move on to this third task. Sound good? See you in a bit. Well, it's official. I am a gladiator now. And I've been given MMO chores, like going and killing 3-star marmots. I'll do that later. Anyway, you, Cesaroga, I've been sent to talk to you. And you are? Oh, a newly come adventurer. But of course. Yes, I'm Cesaroga. What can I do for you? You know what? We're both very short. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're so small. Ah, you would have me teach you the ways of the marketplace? Very wise. As for my fee... What? You expect me to do it for free? Surely you jest. My dear adventurer, when you ask an Ul'dah for a favor, you should at least try to make it worth his while. Judging by your garb, I rather doubt you could afford my services, but the fact you offer nothing is laughable. Yes, well, let's see what you think of this letter of introduction I have. Oh, Mistress Momodi instructed you to seek me out, did she? Now consider yourself fortunate to have such influential friends. I shall be brief, and you shall be attentive. You stand in the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, the busiest and most profitable marketplace in the Sultanate. Being advantageously situated in relation to the other city-states, Ul'dah's markets have ever served as both the literal and figurative centers of Eorzean commerce. All the great overland trade routes lead to our city, and the majority of maritime trade between Vilbrand and Aldenard passes through our ports. Because of this, countless companies and consortia have chosen Ul'dah as their base of operations. They see to it that this marketplace is awash with merchants and moneylenders day and night. Anything a man could ever desire can be purchased here, provided he has sufficient funds. Surely there's something you seek, adventurer? A deadlier sword, perhaps, or a shinier trinket, or whatever it is you want, the exchange will have it. To the north, you'll find merchants peddling armor and accessories, curatives and crafting materials. And to the south, you'll find weapons, tools, and an assortment of other useful items for sale. Seek out a particular merchant or browse to your heart's content, but do try to remain aloof should you find something that piques your interest. Decisions made in the heat of the moment are usually unwise, especially where coin is concerned. And that is all the complimentary aid you shall have from me, and far too much for my taste. My regards to Momodi. Now, off with you. Yes, sir. Well, we've learned how to money. Good gracious, there's a lot of activity out here. Let's leave. Too much. Okay, we've finished our task. I don't think I've attuned myself to the aetheryte near the quicksand. Drat. Boy, amateur hour over here. Get used to that, honestly, for both our sakes. If this playthrough continues, we're going to be together for a while. And you're just going to need to get used to me doing stupid things. Welcome to PlayFrame. Momodi, I've done the tasks. How was your tour of the city, Derman? Get lost, did you? Aye, well, Ul'dah's a big place with lots to see and do, but wandering around aimlessly don't pay the bills. If you're serious about making a living here, you'll need to remember where things are. So when you go exploring, explore like you've got a purpose, huh? All right then, all that's left is for you to work hard, make money, and spend it here at the quicksand. You got it. We've completed another quest. Good for us. Again, I do promise that things do pick up pace-wise. Eventually, this is just... MMOs are big. There's a lot of systems to introduce new players to. Throwing it all at them at once would be a little overwhelming. It just makes the... it just makes showing off the story a little bit slow to start is all. Anyway, where am I going? Right. Yes, of course. That's what I was... Sorry, I just spaced out for a second there. We're going to need to be level 4. Yep, we're going to need to be level 4 in order to take on this next story quest. The main story quests have this little fiery ring around them. That's how you know. Anyway, we're too low level for that, it looks like, so let's go outside and pick a fight with something. Welcome to Thanalin, everyone. Just the general lands surrounding Ul'dah are all just kind of Thanalin. We're in central Thanalin right now, and there's a lot of other parts of Thanalin that you can get to. You know what, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be scooting us around all quick-like anyway. So, as a gladiator, who will eventually be a paladin, we fight with a sword and eventually a shield when we get one. And we are a tanking class, one of the 4 currently in the game. And I'm only showing you this stuff right now just to help you find your feet. Help you get used to what this MMO looks like with all its features. Usually if I am... Oh, hey, I'm level 4. Great. Usually if I'm having to do grinding nonsense like this, I'm not going to make y'all watch it at all. Just wanted to let y'all see what's what. Anyway, we're level 4. I'm going to get up to level 5 so we don't get stopped again, and then we'll continue. And there we go. Level 5. There, that should give us a nice, comfortable little buffer. Okay, I'm ready to rebuild. Momodi of the Quicksand wants to introduce you to a certain someone at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. Well, youngling, how are you finding our fine Ul'dah then? Got your bearings about you yet? If so, mayhap it's time you ventured beyond our city walls. The bustling streets of Ul'dah are one thing, but the wilds of Thanalin, that's another altogether. I know a bloke you might fancy speaking to, and you, name of Papashan. You'll find him over at the Ul'dah dispatch yard. No doubt he'll have some work for you. The dispatch yard's over in central Thanalin. Just head out the door across the hall and you'll see the gate of Nald staring right back at you. Pass through it and head east. You'll come upon it before long. There's dangers beyond the wall, though. More than I'd care to count. Nothing too terrible, mind you, but feisty enough to attack you if you draw near. Don't say nobody cared enough to warn you. Thank you for the warning. All right, let's go back outside. Boy, I'll tell you what would speed this up, or what will speed this up eventually. Having a chocobo. That's going to make a big difference, I feel. Because right now all I have is my 2 very tiny feet. And they only go so fast. Also, having all those aetherites, honestly, once I have all the travel options sorted, once we're a little further in the game, I'm going to be zooming all over the place, which is good because, boy, they're going to have me going all over. For now, at least the travel distances are short. Here we are at the dispatch yard, and I do believe I see our Papashan. Hello. Well, you certainly look the part of an adventurer, my friend. Might you be the good soul Momodi advised me to expect, I'm Papashan, station master of this humble dispatch yard. An empty title, I assure you. I truly am no more than a tired old Lalafell passing his final years in quiet and solitude. 12 know there have been plenty of both these last 5 years since the calamity struck. The devastation was vast. Yet now true Uldans work together, doing all in our power to rebuild what was laid to ruin. By the sweat of our brows and the love of our home, we've rebuilt Ul'dah to the grandeur and majesty that you see today. Boy, a lot of you really seem to have speeches prepared for me. The railways which run through this dispatch yard, too, were born of the noble efforts of a great many souls. But there's still much work to be done. The wounds left by the calamity run deep. Isolated areas beyond our lines of supply remain, and there are places yet wanting for relief and restoration. Ul'dah needs the aid of you and your brethren, friend. In fact, never has our need been more dire. Which brings me to the point, I suppose. I do believe I may have some work suited to one of your ability. Ooh, you're giving me shoes. I'll do anything you say. Let's see. Oh, and a level 2? Goodness. But my birthday is not till October. All right, let's put on new shoes, because that's more important than literally anything. Fashion matters more than all in Final Fantasy XIV, and that's lesson 1. New shoes. Good. Also, let's eat something. Just because. There. See? Now we're full and ready to do work. Hello. Station Master Papashan has a simple task for a fledgling adventurer. I'm going to make this a little larger. I don't know how easy this is for y'all to read. I don't know. Let me know if that helps. Since you've come all this way, perhaps you can perform an errand for me. It just so happens that a number of sentries have been sent to guard the area, dispatched to the dispatch yard, as it were. They've long been away from the shade and feather beds of the city. The hot days and cold nights can play hells on the mind and body out here. It isn't much, but go and give them these twilight pretzels, would you? I find comfort food always helps when I feel like killing myself. That's useful information, thank you. All right, our first real task. Snack delivery. Is this one of the guys? I bet this is one of the guys. All right, let's go deliver refreshments. Listen, we all have to start somewhere. And it is sort of fitting, right? Like, if you're going to be eventually going on to save the world countless times, as you do in a Final Fantasy story, like, you gotta ramp up to that. Anyway, hello, serious Sultan Sworn. How are you doing? Halt! Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to put that pretzel on the ground and place your hands above your head. Well, honestly, I was planning to do like 50% of that when I came over here, so have a pretzel. State your name and business. A Twilight pretzel from Papashan. By the gods, forgive me. You could say this new post has my nerves in a twist. I'm terribly sorry for that. Yes, well, you may rest assured that the dispatch yard is safe so long as I stand watch. Please give Papashan my thanks and tell him that I only wish I could repay the favor. Listen, you can, like, buy him some chips when you get home. All right, next person. I'm just gonna jump. Next person. Run, 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 run. Hello, stern Sultan Sworn. Are you hungry? Western front clear. Eastern front clear. Have a pretzel. For me? From Papashan? A Twilight pretzel. My favorite. How did he know? Can't fight on an empty stomach now, can I? Actually, I can't fight on any stomach. I suppose you could say that I have no stomach for fighting. I'm not sure these are very good guards. But then I guess I just got here. What do I know? Hello, servile Sultan Sworn. Pretzel? 12 save me. Scorching days, freezing nights. This post will be the end of me. Not with this pretzel, it won't. A twilight pretzel? Don't mind if I do. Ah, now that is a refreshing goddamned pretzel. I feel reborn. Well, I'm happy you're happy. Keep up the good work. Papa Sean, I have completed my chores. Refreshments delivered, sir. You've returned, and with a deal fewer pretzels, I see. Tell me, how fair are Sultan Sworn sentries? Did they have anything to report? Anything at all? What? Nothing? Are you sure? Oh. Oh dear. Take this for your troubles then, and stay a moment. There's more I would ask of you. Okay. Ooh. A new sword too? Man, my lucky day. Gracious. Really not used to this pace of leveling. I could get used to this, but I probably shouldn't. I should equip my new sword, though. Very good. Moving on up. Anyway, what do you want? Derman, I have just this moment. No, the time for concealment has passed. The truth is, even before I had you deliver those pretzels, I was privy to some most unsettling news, which is the real reason I sent you to meet those Sultan Sworn. Okay. Papa Sean is in dire need of your assistance. Well, I'm here to help. A young woman from a very prestigious family has run away from home, and I've been ordered to see her safe return. The Sultan Sworn you met earlier are assisting with the search. Alas, it seems they've found no trace of her. I apologize for not being frank with you from the start, but we must proceed with caution. Should word of her disappearance spread, I fear others with less honorable motives may join the hunt. And should we allow her to come to any harm, not even 100 beheadings would be punishment enough. That cannot happen, Derman. It must not. I need you to help me find her. Hey, you got it. Praise the 12. I knew I could count on you. I've instructed the others to expand the search, but Thanolin is vast and there are only so many of us. The young noblewoman's name is Lady Lilira. I want you to go south and look for her in the vicinity of the Sultantree. Good luck. Well, thank you. Having chosen a Lalafell for this campaign is going to be pretty entertaining. I think it's going to add an interesting flavor, because even when Lalafell are deadly serious and talking about very serious matters, their gestures are all still very cute. It's going to add a fun spin to the proceedings, I think. Anyway, well, there is our tree, I do believe. And yes, our objective. Hello? Hooded Lalafell, how are you? Oh, Sultantree. You are about to enter an instanced battle. Instanced battles only occur during certain quests and missions. Take a moment to read the information displayed in the active. I most certainly will not. All right, let's do the thing.
Oh, Sultantree, hallowed spirit of my line, forgive my weakness. My failings have cost us dear. Show yourself!
Hello. I mean, I wasn't hiding. Yeah. Tall.
As you command, O Lilira.
Hello. Oh.
Forgive my selfish desire to assure your welfare.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing. It isn't safe for you here alone. It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us. And I'd prefer not to join them, if it's all the same to you.
I'm Derman.
Ah, you must be the one the Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on finding our elusive young charge. You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector in person.
Boy, that's a thing.
Alas, the station master will have to wait. Dear Lilira, for my sake, please stay out of harm's way. As for you, dear friend, for Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
Happy to help. Oh, we're gonna do a fight. All right. Handsome stranger. How do I get that sort of flattering title? I come by it natural, I guess. All right. This thing has a lot of health. One excessive HP bar later. Die already. There we go. Good work, handsome stranger. I'd give you a pretzel if I could.
Whew.
Boy, we are entirely too cute.
Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart.
coming around now.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
If I only knew. A denizen of the Void at any rate.
The Void sent? Here? But how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits.
I'm up.
Don't suppose the answer came to you in a dream? No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal. But of course, this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once. I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe? I shall return and tell them myself.
As you wish, your impetuousness. I suspect we shall meet again before long. Until then, do try and stay awake.
Boy, it is weird hearing these voices again. So for those of you who don't know, when they released the first expansion for this game, I believe it was, Heaven's Word, they pretty much completely replaced the voice cast for this game, and I consider it a pretty positive change. Like, no disrespect to the cast of this original Realm Reborn release. They do fine. I think the new voices are generally a better fit for the most part. And also, I've now been listening to them way longer. So hearing these old versions of those voices come out of familiar faces is weird. For me, and probably not for you. You know, it doesn't matter. Papa Shan! I did it! All of that to say, if there's any particular voice in this cast that you're hearing that you don't like, well, good news. You're only going to have to listen to them for so long. If you do like them, bad news, I guess. Thank the gods you've returned. You've had us all so worried. You do realize what would happen if a person of your noble stature were to be injured, or worse? Why, Her Grace the Sultana would be beside herself with grief, and so would her subjects. I dare say they'd be weeping in the streets. But I've already given you cause to weep, Papa Shan, you and the people of Ul'dah. Please, you're not to say such things. We will find it, I swear to you. It's not my place to make demands, my lady, but I beg you, please stay out of harm's way. I apologize for causing you undue worry, Papa Shan. I'll refrain from traveling unescorted in the future. I cannot thank you enough, Durman. I understand you fought bravely to protect Lady Lilira from void-sent fiends. For your gallant service, you deserve all the riches in the royal vaults. Alas, a small token of my gratitude's the best I can offer. Huh? A sarcastic man with a strange contraption strapped to his shoulder. I see you met Thancred. He's a scholar who spends his days investigating oddities in the ether. Rather too fond of the sound of his own voice for my liking, but perfectly harmless. As for you, Durman, you are just the sort of adventurer we need around here. I pray you show the same kindness to the people of Thanalin as you did to us today. You got it. I'll deliver a pretzel to anybody, I don't care. Hey, level 8, look at us go. All right. I think that'll probably do it for us today, but before we wrap up, I do want to chat about something just real quick with y'all, so hang on, let me go find a nice place to sit. Yeah, this place should probably do fine. Let's see here. There we go. Perfect. All right, everybody, let's have us just a little chat, you and me here for a second. Sound good? So, at this point, I imagine a fair number of you are probably thinking to yourselves, this is the great story you wanted me to see so bad? Because it seems kind of bland. Like, am I missing something? You're not, and you're not wrong to think that. See, to my mind, the biggest problem that Final Fantasy XIV has is that though its story is great once it gets going, until then, it has a very weak start. So, like, have you ever had this favorite TV show that is just cursed with a garbage first season? Like, the show is amazing. It's so great if you can make it past all of those early episodes where nothing's quite clicked yet and the characters aren't really working yet. And the worst part is, like, that bad first season, it makes it so much harder to recommend to other people, right? Because, like, you shouldn't skip that season. Like, there's a lot of important stuff that happens in it, and it sets up all these things that the later good seasons are going to use and do interesting things with, but sitting through it is just such a drag compared to what the show later becomes. That is what Final Fantasy XIV is. Like, the base game of A Realm Reborn is that dud first season. It's not awful, mind you, like, and it does establish a ton of important stuff, but believe me, it pales in comparison to what comes later. And that is one of the biggest reasons I want to at least attempt this playthrough series, because I'm here to tell you, if you like Final Fantasy stories, if you've played Final Fantasy games and enjoyed the stories in them, and especially the Ivalice flavor of Final Fantasy game, like your 12s and your tactics, once it gets going, this MMO delivers. It's really good. I'm a Final Fantasy fan, and I rate this game's story up there with some of the best single-player games they've made. So yeah, I won't lie, this first season is going to be a bit of a slog, and I will completely understand if a bunch of you decide that you would rather just not sit through that. Who has time? I get it. If we get like a dozen or so episodes into this series and the view count is just kind of dropping off and plummeting, no worries. We can call this experiment there. I'll move on to other things. No big deal. But in the meantime, I'm going to do my darndest to provide the most entertaining and speedy experience of Final Fantasy XIV's first season that I possibly can. And if you're willing to stick with me until we reach the other side, I'm going to be very excited to show you what all the fuss is about. Does that sound good? Deal? I hope so, because, again, I'm really looking forward to recording this, and I hope you all do eventually come to enjoy it as much as I have grown to. In either case, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for more Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode. Do take care, and, well, let's do this proper. Goodbye.